What you look for in a friend is not somebody that's going to lie to you and tell you things that are going to make you feel good. What you want in a friend is someone that's going to tell you the truth, even though it might be tough to hear. How is everybody doing on this beautiful Monday morning? If you listen to the podcast version of this, it is Monday morning. If you're watching the YouTube version of this, it is Monday evening. If you're watching this when it drops, as you guys know, this podcast drops at 5 o'clock in the morning on Mondays and Thursdays for the audio version, and the video version drops at 5 p.m. on the same days. And if you are brand new to this show, what you can expect is open and authentic conversations about things like mental health and self-development. And if you are not new to this show, then thank you very much for coming back, supporting the movement, supporting the journey, and supporting the idea of making yourself 1% better every single day, getting closer to your goals, getting closer to the person that you want to become in the future, and along the way, lifting others up as well. So that is what the show is about. Welcome to the Risen Fallen podcast. I am your host, Mark Henriksen. I'm still your host, and I'm still Mark Henriksen. And so, without further ado, let's jump into this show. Hope you guys are doing well. This will probably be a short little chat. I am working on lining up a few interviews for you guys as well in the coming weeks. But for now, you are stuck with little old me. So, how is everybody doing today? I thought we'd just settle into this episode together. I got a little iced coffee in front of me. Beautiful little iced coffee in a little mason jar, like the little hipster that I am. So I'm going to take a sip of this really quick, wet the whistle a little bit, and then we're going to jump into this podcast episode together. And so let's just take a little second here, take a little sipperoo, take a little breath, take a little whatever you got in front of you, and let's get in the mindset of making ourselves better and making ourselves a little bit closer to who we want to become. So let's do it. That was a loud little sip. I don't know if you guys heard that, but it tasted good. I don't know if it sounded good, but it tasted good. So today is Monday. We're kicking off this week. I hope you guys are doing well. Today actually isn't Monday, but this drops on Monday, so there's that. Today is actually Saturday for me. I'm chilling out here. I had a little bit of a rough sleep. I've been having a rough time sleeping recently. A couple nights ago, I was up late. For me, I don't know if it's late for you guys, but I was up till up till midnight. And the whole time, I think I went to bed at like 9 o'clock, and I just couldn't get to sleep. I was kind of tossing and turning. Usually I'm pretty beat by the end of my day, and I just passed the fuck out. But I had a tough time getting to sleep. It was pretty hot. I had my AC going and then a fan blowing right on me as well. And I don't know if it was like... I had like a hydration drink with a bunch of vitamins in it, and I don't know if maybe some of those were keeping me up. I don't know if it was because I was drinking coffee later in the day. I don't know what it was, but I just couldn't get to sleep. And then last night I took a bunch of melatonin and some GABA, some other supplements to try and help me sleep, and I ended up oversleeping. I slept like 10 and a half, 11 hours, which I woke up. I literally felt hungover, even though I haven't had a drink in over a year, but I just woke up with like dry mouth and fucking headache, and I was like, maybe that's not the fucking cure for me. So I'm working on that, but yeah, I still hit like an 8K run today. I helped my dad go and pick up a car. I just went grocery shopping and did a little bit of journaling, did a little bit of planning for the next couple weeks. But yeah, I had a good call with one of my friends today. I know, like, if you're anything like me, you get lost in the sauce. You get lost in just the grind of like waking up, doing some reading, doing some workouts, whatever you do in the morning, going to work, going to the gym, going getting your meal prep done, stretching, working on a little side hustles. It's easy to become almost like antisocial. It's easy to become lost in the sauce. And so I've been a little bit distant from some of my good friends recently. I've been forgetting to message them. I've been forgetting to call them and keep in touch as much as I'd like to. And, I even have like a close buddy of mine. I just had a buddy of mine move across the country. I got another buddy of mine who I hang out with more frequently in relation to my other friends, and he's going to be moving away from the country. He's moving down south. He's moving to the States. And so I'm trying to plan a little get together with him and a couple other friends as well to say farewell to him and wish him the best. But yeah, no, anyways, I had a good conversation with a close friend of mine today. A really close friend of mine, my best buddy. I talked to him on the phone for a little bit, maybe like 10, 15 minutes or something like that. And we were just kind of talking about this same topic about, having a small circle of friends and being a little bit distant and how that's okay sometimes. And then talking about the efforts to stay connected to your friends as well. We were talking about, the number of friends we have and the quality of friends that we have, and how those kind of come in relation to each other, the number of friends you have and the quality of the friendships that you have. And, we were talking about different things and what your friendships should actually provide for your life. And when you think about groups of friends, you think about, obviously empathy and love and care, feeling of being connected and not being alone. The feeling like someone's got your back, someone that you could go to war with, and someone that when they say something to you, you can trust that it's the truth. Even though it might be tough to say, even though it might be a little bit hurtful, hopefully they learn to deliver it properly, but they're going to deliver you the truth every single time. They're going to tell you, hey, I know this might be shitty to hear, and I'm telling you not only because I want the best for you, but because I love you. I'm telling you something that's tough. That might be something a friend would say. I think a lot of the times we think that friends should tell us things that make us feel good, but obviously that's not what we're looking for. We can gas ourselves up. We can lie to ourselves. What you look for in a friend is not somebody that's going to lie to you and tell you things that are going to make you feel good. What you want in a friend is someone that's going to tell you the truth. Even though it might be tough to hear. And if you're a good friend, you're going to tell your friends the truth. Even though it might be difficult to say, it might be awkward, it might make things weird for a bit. But like I said, you look at them in the eye and you say, hey, look, this is really difficult for me to say. It sucks that I have to say this, but I'm telling you this because I love you. And then you tell them whatever it is that's true. We were talking a lot about our peers and how they change our mindsets and how they can influence us so much, even without verbalizing, hey, you should do this thing or you should do that thing, how much they influence our actions and our behaviors. And, we call that peer pressure. And we were talking about, if you're in a group of friends and your group of friends applies pressure on you at all to do anything, and it's not something that's going to make you progress further in your life, to make you into the person that you want to become or closer to that person, those are not your friends. In fact, those are your enemies. Those are people that you want to try and avoid, because you hear so often that you are the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with, or you are your circle of friends. And I think that That's pretty true. It is pretty true when you think about the people you hang around with. I even say to my friends sometimes as well, like I don't think that you should be hanging out with people that you can't learn from. And you shouldn't take advice from somebody that you wouldn't want to trade lives with in regards to what they're giving you advice in. You wouldn't take financial advice from some broke guy. You wouldn't take relationship advice with somebody that, has fucking had shitty relationships and is still single. You wouldn't take fucking driving advice with some guy that's got his fucking car impounded and gets in accidents every fucking month. And you probably wouldn't take sobriety advice from some guy that's fucking wasted all the time. So I think that, it's really important to think about who you spend your time around and who you give your precious time that you have in your life, who you give that time to. Because when you start to see, the thing is that the human beings are just so adaptive. And a lot of us, because of the way that we're wired, we want to fit in to whatever circle that we're put into. And if you surround yourself and you put yourself in circles with people that don't have your best interests, don't have things that you want in your life, they have things that you don't want, you actively try to avoid. Because of human nature, you're going to start to assimilate. You're going to start to try and fit in. Even if you can cognitively say, hey, I don't like these people, I don't like their habits, I don't like their behaviors. Human nature dictates that we'll try and adapt to our surroundings. And that's a survival mechanism, because being alone and being isolated is something that can literally cause depression, anxiety, and ultimately death of your soul, death of your body. There's a reason that one of the worst forms of torture is, solitary confinement, keeping somebody alone in a dark room. And so being alone, knowing that that's one of the worst forms of torture, is something that we try and avoid. And so if you're putting yourself, or you find that some of your friends put you in social situations with people that you don't want to be like, hey, I don't want to be like this person. If you're still actively going into those situations, you're still actively going into those circles, you're going to assimilate. You're going to want to belong. You're going to want to adapt. You're going to want to fit in. And you're eventually going to adapt the behaviors and the habits of those people that you don't want to be like. Sorry, I had to take another sip there, but yeah, this is just something that I've realized, in the last few years. Especially, I feel like the biggest challenge is your friends' friends. Because it's so easy to tell... Oh, well, for me, at least, in my personal opinion, it's so easy to tell somebody like, hey, sorry, man, I can't chill. I'm not into doing that stuff. I'm not into doing drugs. I'm not into partying. I'm not into doing the thing that you want to do. I'm not going to do that. I'd love to fucking chill with you, but I'm just not doing that thing. It's so easy to tell like one person that, but it's more difficult to tell your friends that you don't want to hang out with their other friends. Especially if like you're already hanging out with them and then they're like, hey, this guy's actually going to come through. We're going to do this in a little bit. You down? And you're like, well, all right. And then you end up doing it. It's a much harder situation. So I really think that it's important to analyze who you spend your time with. And I think that this also is a reminder to be disciplined with how you spend your time, how long you spend being social, and planning out what you guys are going to do. Like, I literally have written out on my calendar the times I'm going to be social this month. I have like the month of July up, and I have written down for my weekends excuse me, like what I'm going to do and when. Going on a couple hikes with the Risen Fallen group, going to a barbecue, going to a birthday party for one of my buddy's kids, going to a baseball game with my family, doing tons of different social things throughout the month, but being, more, what's the word? More purposeful, more, focused on, I don't know which word I'm trying to think of, but being more, I think purposeful is a good word, and just thinking about, intentionality, being more intentional with how you spend your social time, and thinking about in the like being able to visualize the future of like, all right, these are the times I'm going to be social. Those are the times that I can relax. Those are the times that I can, nose to the grindstone, start working. And I think personally, that scheduling out those times, it makes doing the other things more easy, because when I see on my calendar, hey, on the weekend I've got these things lined up, then I know that during the week I just need to stay focused and keep working. And on the times that I'm staying focused and I'm working and I'm disciplined and I'm thinking about, oh, this sucks, I want to relax, I want to socialize, I want to do like anything else other than work right now, I want to play video games, or I want to go and hang out with buddies, I can just look at my calendar and say, oh, I'm going to do that this weekend. There's no need to relax. There's no need to worry about missing out, getting that FOMO. I'm going to go and do that this weekend. And also being intentional with how you hang out with your friends. Like if you're relying on your friends to call you up and invite you to do whatever they're doing, then you're living on the whim of whatever they invite you to. But if you actually start to, invite them to do things that you want to do, that you want to include in your life, like going on hikes, having barbecues, going to a baseball game, or I'm just using the things that I'm doing this month as an example, then you can start to stay away from doing the activities, the habits, the behaviors that you want to avoid. And you can even cognitively tell them, hey, I don't want to do that shit anymore. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do this. I want to do this more. I want to do that more. Maybe we can go catch a workout. I don't want to just fucking party and do a bunch of drugs. But it depends on your goals. It depends on what kind of lifestyle changes you're trying to make. So just think about the people that you hang around with, and think about how they pressure you into behaving and acting, and whether they intend to or not, whether they say, hey, do this, or they just kind of do those things. And if that peer pressure is subtle or direct, and understand that the people that are, in your life, and they coerce you, or they facilitate you doing things that doesn't align with the person that you want to become in the future, those are not your friends. Those are people that are literally your enemies. Those are the people that you want to avoid in your life. And that's just the way I see it. So that's all I think for today. Just a little check-in with you guys, and to kind of give you a little update on some of the conversations I'm having with my friends. If you are interested in coming on any of the Risen Fallen hikes, you guys can hit me up on Instagram at Risen Fallen. And if you want to support the show, you can grab yourself a hoodie or a tee at risenfallen.com. The proceeds of those goes towards the in-person meetups that we have as well. Other than that, I will check in with you guys on Thursday. I'm very thankful for you all. You are the reason that I do what I do. Much love and peace out, you beautiful human beings. I hope you're having a good summer. I hope you get to, grind your ass off this week, and this weekend, hopefully get to see some friends and family members and recharge those batteries, and get ready to rock and roll for next week. Other than that, I love you all. Let's enjoy the fucking summer and get after it. Much love and peace out.